In this video, we're gonna talk about what I've learned after 2 years of intermittent fasting, how it's changed my life, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, whether I'm gonna keep doing it, and much more. So, stick around. So first of all, I want to start out this video by saying thank you guys so much. My original transformation video has gotten over 100,000 views in the past few weeks, and I'm so grateful to you all for watching my video and giving me your feedback, liking the video, putting comments on the video. I've made it a point to answer every single comment on that video, so if you have any questions, do comment on that video. I'll do my best to answer it. But thank you guys so much. And another thank you for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. I genuinely couldn't do it without you all, so thank you guys so much, and I'm so happy to have you a part of the channel. So what did I learn after 2 years of intermittent fasting? So I just want to give you the background of my experience. So how did I find out about it? I'm 18 or 19, I'm the heaviest that I ever was. I had tried all these different diets and I couldn't stick to them. I couldn't find something that worked. Definition of worked here, meaning that I could stick to it for an extended period of time, because that's the only diet that is gonna work for you, is something that you can stick to for preferably the rest of your life, but at least long enough for you to be able to lose the weight, be it 3 months, be it 6 months, be it 12 months. So I brought intermittent fasting into my life when I saw all the success online and from all these weight loss transformations, from all the YouTubers talking about it and everything. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try, why not? So I tried intermittent fasting and I loved it. The way I started is I would wake up and I wouldn't usually eat anything until, I don't know, about 12, and I would eat until about 8. So that was my eating window. And outside of those blocks, I would not eat anything, or I would just drink black coffee and drink water or something like that. But my way of combating it is I would just keep full with water, and that was huge for me. That literally was like my secret cheat code, because I don't like having little rabbit meals, you know? I like having a big old man meal, you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't want to eat tiny meals. So with intermittent fasting, I can fit more calories into my meal. I would drink water and black coffee all throughout the day until about 12 p.m. And then once 12 p.m. hit, that's when I would have my first meal. And then I would have my second meal maybe, and then a snack in between. But I would have basically 2 big meals with maybe a snack or something like that, but it wasn't anything too complicated. Over that summer that I lost all of the weight, I worked as a lifeguard in Ocean City, Maryland, specifically Assateague Island. So what I would do is I would wake up, fill my thermos with black coffee, and I would have my gallon of water that was in a big old pink igloo thing that kept it cold all day, and I called it the Pink Ranger. You can ask any of the guards, you know. But I would just drink from the Pink Ranger, and I would have black coffee all the way up to when I ate, which was usually around 2 or 3. I would eat with my best friend Grant at home, usually every day at work. So I would wait to eat with him until about 2 or 3, and then I might have a small snack between then and dinner, and then I would go home and I would have dinner. Usually dinner wasn't anything that big, it was just something to keep me satiated for long enough, and then I would keep chugging water. I mean, it just worked. So remember the whole calorie deficit theory, that's what I was trying to tell myself. So I had room for things. That means when I saved all my calories for then, I could have a cookie with my lunch, I could have Cheez-Its with my lunch, I could have a Pop-Tart with my lunch. It was okay, it didn't matter, because I knew that I was gonna be in a calorie deficit. So regardless of the eating pattern, I would go home and I would do 30 to 45 minutes of cardio every day. I still do that to this day, or at least I try to as much as I can. Now, although intermittent fasting did me so well, I can tell you that there was a time in my life where it got obsessive. I like to compare it to over-tracking your food in MyFitnessPal. It got to the point where if I would eat outside of my windows, it would turn into a binge, because I'd say, oh, I screwed everything up, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna eat everything I'm not supposed to be having right now because I messed up. I went back to the all or nothing mindset, which I'm so against from all of my videos. The all or nothing mindset was in effect very much so with intermittent fasting, because you feel so strict and regimented to only eat in your specific window. And did that work for me for a long time? Yes. And does it still work for me? Absolutely. But just beware, because it can get very obsessive. Life happens, so it's like, it's tough when you want to go out to eat with your friends, but it's like, oh, it's not in your eating window, and then you can't eat. Like, it gets very obsessive. So keep that in mind when thinking about getting into intermittent fasting, because I struggled with it heavily. I remember thinking back to, I'm not allowed to chew gum before 12 p.m. noon because it's got 5 calories in it and I've got to be fully fasted. And then there's research that like black coffee can break a fast. So I stopped drinking black coffee, and then I was like, okay, hold on. We gotta remember it comes down to a calorie deficit throughout the day. So is that 5 calories really gonna mean that much? I had to be like, look, Jack, you've got to understand that having a splash of cream in your coffee, licking the yogurt off of your hand when you're making your lunch in the morning and you get yogurt on your hand from the little lid, little thing. That yogurt that I would have a lot of the time, I would get on my hand. I wouldn't even lick it off. I would just wipe it off with a napkin. These are the things that I would do I'm not allowed to eat in my fast, so I wouldn't have anything. It was black and white thinking. That's not what we're going for. So beware of the obsessiveness that intermittent fasting can bring. Now, I touched on this already, but another main thing with intermittent fasting is I missed out on a lot of fun opportunities. So I would go out to breakfast with friends and I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't eat anything, and I would just watch them and my stomach would be growling. Oh, but I gotta be on my grind, right? Well, what do we talk about on this channel? We talk about what's sustainable. We talk about what can you do for the next 3 years, not the next 3 weeks. We're talking about what is sustainable. So is it sustainable for you? Now, if you've got a lot to do in a short amount of time, if you're prepping for a competition, that's out of my realm. That's not what I'm about on this channel. But I can tell you that missing out on all those fun dinner and breakfast opportunities, you've got to remember, in order to say yes to one thing, you've got to say no to something else, and that's drastically important. And after all was said and done, I had some beliefs that I had to fix in my mind. I had an association with eating before noon as bad. That's not the case, okay? Eating before noon is not bad. And I had this mindset forever. I did it for like 2 years, and I'm kind of on and off with it now, but I'm on and off in the sense that if I have something for breakfast that wasn't planned, it's not gonna ruin my day, because it did that for, let's say, a whole year after I lost the weight. It ruined my day if I would eat something early in the morning or before my workout when I lift in the morning. Oh, God forbid, right? No, like that would ruin my day. So to this day, if I'm having a protein shake after I lift, and I lift at 6:30 a.m. So it's like, do I still consider myself to do intermittent fasting a little bit? Absolutely. But am I fully fasted? No, and that's totally fine. So in conclusion, intermittent fasting, is it for you? Was it for me? In my personal opinion, I still really love it. I love the idea, but it's got to fit your schedule. The reason that I was able to do such a strict schedule and lose the weight that I did at the time that I did was because I was busy. I kept myself busy. I was at work. I was a lifeguard. I was on the beach. I couldn't just snack. I had my shirt off all day. Like, obviously, it was very motivating to prolong my eating window. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you from experience, it's a lot harder to do when you're just chilling with your boys, playing Xbox or something like that, It's a lot harder to do. Now for me, I had to remember that there are a lot of different fasting windows. So there's not eating dinner, or there's not eating breakfast, or there are many different eating windows, and you gotta find the one that works for you. If you don't like being hungry, please, for the love of God, don't do intermittent fasting, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna have an all or nothing mindset. You're gonna feel like a failure when you do eat because you're hungry, and you should be. When it's hunger and it's not boredom, you've got to eat. So don't feel like a failure for eating when you're so hungry, because you're gonna be hungry if you do intermittent fasting, at least at first. Does it get better? Yes, but you're never gonna feel satiated in your fasting windows. You've got to get used to the feeling of being hungry in those windows. So fill yourself up with water as much as you can. If you start getting obsessive with it, and you have an addictive, obsessive personality like I do, chuck it out the window, because it's not for you. It took me a long time to figure myself out, and I had a lot of things happen in my life before my weight loss transformation that motivated me unlike anything else. I was at rock bottom. I had nowhere to go but up. So I had to do it. And I was gonna go to any lengths to make it happen. I hope this helped your idea on intermittent fasting if you were thinking about getting into it. I get a lot of messages about intermittent fasting and whether it's good for people and whether they should do it. And for me, guys, it changed my life. And I'm sure as hell not gonna preach to you that it's the best thing on earth. It's gonna work for you. 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 No. It worked for me. Does that mean it's gonna work for you guys? No. If you found success through intermittent fasting like me, it's hard to go back to the way you were eating before, because you associate the way you were eating before with pain and failure, and hunger is associated with success, happiness, weight loss, all these things that you've been trying to do forever. You finally accomplished it, and it doesn't have to be that way, okay? This is one way of eating. This is one style of eating that does not have to go to everybody. So I hope this helped everybody understand intermittent fasting a little bit more and find out if it's for them. I'm excited for some of you to give it a shot and see if you like it, or see if you don't like it. Let me know in the comments if you're about intermittent fasting, if you're not about intermittent fasting, and tell me why, because I'm always open to learn I have my experiences with it. I wanna hear about your experiences with it. So guys, thank you for sticking with me, and be sure to like and subscribe down below. I'm so blessed and thankful to have all of you with me, and I can't wait to help all of you accomplish your weight loss goals. So let's keep getting better together, and let's keep on grinding. I'll see you guys in the next one.